Okay, so let's start the session, guys. In today's class, we are going to discuss the next topic related to functions. Let's complete today functions and modules, both of them. Okay, first functions. As I've told you, this is one of the most important topic in the Python. And from now onwards, today, what are the functions we are going to start now? From today onwards, every day till the last day of our course, we are going to discuss the functions only. Means functions means what are the different functions are available in the ML, what are the various functions are available in the AI, what are the various functions are available in the agentic AI, or whatever it is. So wherever we are going to use the Python, in the Python, we are going to use commonly called as functions only. So what is meant by function? Function means basically it is a group of related statements. Okay, a group of statements will be there that is used to perform a specific task. Some task will be there and it is going to perform the task. A function is a set of statements that takes the input and do the some specific computation and produces the output. It gives the output. So a function is a set of statements that takes the input as the something and it executes the code inside that. In every function, some internal code is there and that code will be executed and it gives the output. Now, what is the advantage of doing the function means making the use is avoid the repetition. To avoid the repetition, generally we'll use the functions. Now, these functions are three types. One is inbuilt function, second one is user-defined function, and third one we call it as module or library functions, which we are going to use majorly the last one in our course. Okay. Now, so here inbuilt, user defined and module. As I've told you, a function is a group of statements which is used to perform the task. Now, what is the meaning of this? Let's take an example. Let's try with a small example so that you'll understand more clearly. Okay. So here def, what are the def? Sorry, not def. The function name is called as ABS. That is the function name. Okay, this is the function name. What this function will do? Okay, so here this is one of the inbuilt function. So what is meant by inbuilt function means it was not created by me or by you. It is by Python. The person who has having the Python, who has created the Python, they have created the functions. They are called as inbuilt functions like ABS, print. Earlier we have used the print function, ID function. Okay, some kind of input function. These are all the various functions which are used in the Python. Evolve function. These are all the functions which are used in the Python. Now, every function, what I told you, every function. So here, if you click on the shift tab, shift plus a tab key. If you click on that, here you are going to get the doc string. What is meant by doc string means what is the advantage of this function? They'll tell you. So it is going to return the absolute value of the argument like that for every inbuilt function, because these functions are not created by us now. It was created by someone else now. So obviously when we don't know for what purpose the function was created, we are going to use the doc string, or which we call it as documentation, some nodes. So within the ABS of X, what is X means here some value, and it is going to return the absolute value of the argument. Whatever the argument is there, it is going to return the absolute value. For example, here I'm having the sum X. Okay. Now, what is the backend code? So here I'm going to have the ABS of -4, and what is the output it is going to give me is +4. So here I'm going to write the -4 and it is going to give the output as +4. What is the backend code? Or same way, if I write the ABS of 10, positive number, if I write the 10, it is going to give the 10 only. So all the negative numbers will be converted to positive numbers. So here some code was written inside that. What is the code means? ABS of X. What are the X is there? Internal code. I'm explaining the internal code, guys. Just we are using the function, and inside the function, just we are providing the input. What are the input is there? Just we are providing the input and it is going to give the output directly like this. But the point is, what are the input we are going to give now? That input and output, how it is working means internally some code was written. What is the code means? This is the code. If first it will check the type. What is the type of X? If the type of X is either in the int or float, out of these two, if the X is either int or float, in this case, then in that case only it will do that like this. Again, internally one more if condition. What is that if condition is? If X is greater than 0, return X only. What are the X values there? Give X value as it is. Don't modify that. As it is, you give it out. Else. Else means what is the meaning? Obviously, it is less than 0. Whenever it is less than 0, return minus X. That is the code. Now, here I'm going to give the X value. Here, what are the I have provided? This will be considered as this value. So first it will check what is the type of -4. Type of -4 is a int type. Since it is a int type, it will come here. -4 is greater than 0. No. Else. What is else? Minus of -4. What is minus of -4 means +4. So it is going to execute certain lines of code. This is entire lines of code which is internal of the function. So as I've told you here, okay, earlier I have told you a function is a group of related statements that performs the task. What task here? The task is to convert the number to the absolute number. Absolute number means positive number. Okay, we have to get the positive number. So a function is created. The task is to convert everything to positive number. Now, the function is having the set of statements that takes the input. Here, what is the input? X is the input. It is going to take the X as the input and it is going to perform the code, do some specific computation. Specific computation means perform the internal code. Some code will be there. Internally, some code will be there. And it is going to execute that code and it is going to give the output. Is the point is clear? Gives the output. So like this, they have written the code internally. Sir, can we see that internal code means? No, we cannot see the internal code. Why? Why we cannot see the internal code? If I see the internal code, that would be very easy. No, sir, miss. For inbuilt functions, we cannot see the inbuilt code. For inbuilt functions or module functions, unless it is created by you, which are the functions are available automatically in the Python, you cannot see the internal code. Why, miss? If they disclose that internal code to you, you will start a new software. Like in the Python, you will also start a new one. Okay, that is patented. For example, if you go to the Tata showroom and if you purchase a Tata car, if they say that in this touch screen, if you this option will work like this option will give the output. If you click on this, FM will work. If you click on this audio, you are going to get this USB. They will tell the options. If you click on this, it will work. If you click on this, it will work. If you ask the question, okay, it clicks, it works. Okay, understand how it was designed. I want the design behind that, miss. Or the executive will ask, sir, are you going to start any company, sir? No, na. Our requirement is not the design. Na. So if he asks us, sir, what is that? How you have designed this one? How you have designed this one? If he explains, sir, from here we have taken, sir, in the backend we have written this code, sir. From that this code, sir. Finally, this is the output, and all these things are integrated, and this is the software, and in the backend cloud is there, and from there we are going to do the updation. And if he explains everything, are you going to start any Tata Motors company? No, right? So here, whichever is already available, inbuilt functions, for all the inbuilt functions, we get the documentation. Now in that documentation, what will be there means for all inbuilt functions, we have the documentation. Write this point in the notes. Documentation. So documentation, which we call it as docstring. Documentation. And in this documentation, which is also called as docstring. So within this docstring, what will be there means what is the input it is going to give, what is the input it takes, what is the input it takes, and what is the output it will give, what is the output it gives. So first we are going to understand, okay, this function was created for this purpose. This function was created for this purpose, this one, this one. And as per our requirement, we are going to use wherever it requires. So here we are going to use the applications of the functions. What are the functions are available? We are going to use their applications. Point is clear, guys? Everyone understood? So here, what are the documentation string is there na? Inside the document string, what input it takes, what output it gives. That will be in the doc string. Point is clear? Now, so according to that, we are going to use. Now I will tell you these are the function, and this function is used for the returning the absolute value. Like that, we are having the multiple functions. Sir, how many functions are there in the total Python overall like this? Miss, approximately 2 lakhs plus functions are available. Now, are we going to learn all these 2 lakhs functions, miss? No. We are going to learn which are the functions which are related to us. Now, how to know which are related to us, how to know? That is the reason I'm sitting here, you are paying the money. Okay. So what are the functions are related to our course or related to our job role? Those functions I'm going to explain here. Which are the functions I'm not discussing with you? Those are not required for us in the Gen AI engineer role. So in the Python was not created only for the Gen AI development. Python was created for multiple purposes. Applications of Python is multiple. So for multiple different roles, the Python was developed. So for mathematicians are there, statisticians are there, some software developers are there, and ML engineers are there, AI engineers are there, for image data set there. So different purposes are there. In that, one of the application is Gen AI. So Gen AI and agentic AI also can be done with the Python. Okay, points are clear. This is one of the application only. Okay, within the Python, but Python will be used by multiple people for different purposes. Everything we are going to learn is not required. Whatever we required, whatever we execute in the real life as a Gen AI developer, that functions only we are going to learn. Remaining things not required for us. Now, what are the ABS of -4 is there? It is going to give the absolute value. What is meant by absolute value means it is going to give the positive value. Okay. Now, there is one more function, POW. What is the use of this function means? How to know? Very simple. You have to open the doc string. For example, I have given you one product, one new product, which you have not used it till now. How to use means what you are going to do. For example, you have purchased one product from Amazon. You have got the delivery. You don't know how to use that product. First time you have received the product. What you are going to do? You are going to open the user guide. What are there is some documentation is there. You are going to read that one. And from that, you are going to work. Same logic. Points are clear. So just we are going to read the user guide, and here in this where it is saying that it is going to take the two arguments. What are the two arguments means? One is base, one is exp, and here mod is equal to none is there. Total three arguments are there. First we should understand here every function what are the input it is going to take na, the function inputs. Next heading is function inputs. So every function will have the input. So what are the function inputs are there, right? These input we call it as arguments. Function inputs we call it as arguments. So now in these arguments, we are having the total three types of arguments are there. What are the three types of arguments means? One is called as compulsory arguments. Second one we call it as default arguments. The second name is default arguments. And third argument is called as arbitrary arguments. I will explain each of them in detail one by one. First one is compulsory, followed by default, followed by arbitrary. Now, how to identify which argument? For example, if I click on the shift tab here, what are the inputs you are seeing now? Each variable is called as argument. One variable is called as one argument. Here, what is the variable name? Base, exp, mod. Total three arguments are there. In these three arguments, for which argument you are having the equal to symbol, the argument which is having the equal to symbol, that argument is called as default. The argument whichever is having the star symbol, it is called as arbitrary. The which is arguments are having the no symbol, nothing will be there. No symbol will be applied for that particular argument. Which is not having the any symbol, it is called as compulsory. Compulsory means you have to provide something to that. Is the points are clear? Now, compulsory arguments will have the no symbols. Default arguments will have the equal to. Arbitrary means star. Now, what is each argument and how it will be used and everything we are going to discuss in detail one by one in the today's class. And I'm going to work majorly rather than inbuilt functions. I will show you the user defined functions more. Means I will only create the functions. User defined means user created functions. I will create the multiple functions. I will tell you how the functions can be created on your own and all. Now here, this is basically inbuilt. So here I'm going to give the shift tab. Here, two of them are compulsory arguments are there. One is default argument is available. So how many compulsory you have to provide? Only two. Two you have to compulsory provide. For example, I have provided here two. One is 3, 4. Assume I have provided like this. Now what happens? It is going to give the base to the power of exponent. Base means first argument, power of exponent, that is 3 double star 4. 3 double star 4. What is 3 double star 4 means? 3 power 4. 3 power 4 means 3 into 3 is that is 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, which is equal to 9, 27, and 27 3s are 81. So you are going to get the output as 81 like this. Once you execute, you are going to get the out 81. So what it is going to return, what it is going to take as the input. Everyone is clear? Now this is one of the inbuilt function. This is one of the inbuilt function like ABS and POW. These are all the inbuilt functions. Similarly, we are also having the one more function called as min. That is a function. Now what this function will do? As I've told you, what this function will do, you have to do is first you have to click on the doc string. So it is going to give the minimum value, with a single iterable argument. Iterable argument. What is meant by iterable means for which one for loop is applicable, that is called as iterable argument. For loop is applicable on what? Strings, list, tuple, set, dictionary, and range. Yesterday only we have completed, right? So whichever is, these are all called as iterable arguments. If you can provide the input as string, you can give the string, not a problem. You can give the list, you can give the tuple, or you can give the set as the input, or you can give the dictionary. Dictionary, if you provide also, by default, it will take the keys automatically. I told you now for I and D, by default, it will apply that. Or if you give the range also. So which are iterable arguments, within the given iterable arguments, within the single iterable argument returns the smallest item. What are the item you have provided in that smallest item? So here I'm going to provide the iterable item SRK. Now in this SRK, whatever I have provided SRK, in this, which is the smallest item, it will identify. So what is the smallest item is alphabetical order, which will come first, K letter. So it is going to be K. Now if I give the input as list, as a list, 1, 2, 10, 4, 9, 28, 0, 5, something I have given as the input. In this entire list, what is the minimum value is 0. So if within the given iterable object means for which for loop is applicable. They are called as iterable. For loop is not applicable means they are not called as iterable, like int, float, boolean. These three are called as non-iterable. Remaining all of them are called as iterable. Int, float, boolean. These three are called they are not called as iterable. They cannot be iterated. Okay. Now within this, you are going to get the minimum value. This is the function. Next, max. This is the function. This is also one of the function. What this function will give is, again, it is going to take the iterable. As I have told you now, with single iterable argument, it is going to give the biggest item. Biggest item is whichever is the big, that one. So here I'm going to provide again the same as the input from here to here, what I have done. And in this, it is going to give the whichever value is big. Okay. So like this, the minimum value, maximum value is identified directly by using the min and max functions. Point is clear. Now, next, after this min and max functions, these are all the various functions. Now the question is, all these functions are called as what type of functions? Inbuilt. For every function, internally some code is there. Like for example, POW, if you take, for POW, x comma y. What is x means? First one. What are the first one you are giving? That is x. What are the second one you are giving? That is the y. In the back end of this one, what they have written the code means, first type of x and type of y. Both of them, type of x and type of y, should be in the int or float. This is the condition 1. If this is the case only, in that case, return, if this is satisfied, if this condition satisfied only, return x power y. That is the code was written in the backend. For example, you have given variably here srk power 4. It will throw the error. srk power 4 is not available. Okay. So it is going to throw the error. Is the point is clear? Everyone understood? Yes or no? So here, whichever for every function internally some code is written. Done. Now let us start with the doing this one. Okay, how to create the functions. Let's start. As I've told you, these are all called as inbuilt functions. We have discussed till now what is inbuilt functions, and within the inbuilt functions, what is meant by arguments. Now let us start creating the functions so that you'll get a more clarity on that. Okay, let's work with the some inbuilt functions. Inbuilt functions are completed. Now let us move on to the some user defined functions. So what are the user defined functions are there? Now user defined functions means user is defining, means I am only creating. Sir, how you are going to create the function? Before to the function, program. First, here two questions are there. Yesterday, do you remember the programs we have done? Like list of what are the in the for loop, within the for loop, the user ask the user to provide the some numbers and do the sum of it. Or if already they are in the list, sum of the list of numbers, write the program for this. I told write the program. Na? Every program, instead of asking write a program, write the function. Now, see here, everyone, please tell me this. You have to tell me this one. Write the program. Okay, question is write the program for sum of sum of values inside the list. Already one list is there. Inside the list, you have to do the sum. Let's take the list is this one. The list is 1, 5, 6, 2, okay, that's it. Okay, I want the total. What is the total of this? 1 plus 5 plus 6 plus 2, which is 14. I want the program, which will do the sum of values in the list. Write the program, please, everyone, fast. Before writing the program, what input I have provided for you. Question I have given along with the list also I only have given. What are the list is there? I have given the list. Write the program for this fast. Just 1 minute of time. Okay, done. Yeah, using the for loop, everyone has completed. Just a small example now. Okay, done. S is equal to 0 for I in L. S is equal to S plus I. And we are going to print the S value. What are the S values there? Just we are going to print and it is giving the output as 14. That done. Now, same question as it is, copy and paste. Instead of writing a program, write a function. Write a function. Now, how we are going to write a function means def. Okay. And think some function name as per your choice. What are the function name? Like some of the list values. Now, sir, what is the condition for the function name? Condition for the variable name, what is the conditions are applicable? Same thing is applicable for the function name. It cannot start with the number. It is alphanumeric and it has special character only, underscore is accepted. What are the rules are applicable for the variable name? Same rules are applicable for the function name. Now here I'm going to provide the input as list. One list I'm going to provide as the input. So what are the list I have provided as the input? It has to do this one only. I'm copying this entire code here. Observe this. Copy and paste. So this entire code, whatever I have copy and paste I have done now. This is only, sir, what is the difference, sir? Your program is converted just by adding one line on the top. So to create the functions, what we required? Programs. If you know the programs means functions design is not different. Just adding one line on the top. What is that? Just def sum underscore list is the function. Now function was created. This we call it as creating a function. This we call it as define. Def means basically define. Define the function. Define the function means nothing but define or create. Okay, we are going to create the function. After once the function was created, once this is completed, now we are going to use that function. What are the function we have created? We are going to use the function. Okay, what are the function is there? We are going to use the function. And how to use this function means use function is also called as calling the function. Call the function. Call or use. Now in this, how we are going to work means first here we are going to have the def. What are the def and this one is there now. So here this is creating a function or defining the function. Now how to call means here you are going to take the function name. What are the function name is there? Inside the bracket of function name, you have to provide the input. What are the list is there now? List, this one. That is nothing but this. If you give this one as the input, it is going to give the output. Point is clear, everyone? Now the question is, sir, here total how many lines you have written in along with the input? One line of input and how many lines of code? 4 lines. One line of code with 4 lines. 1 plus 4. Total how many? 5 lines. With input and program. Total 5 lines. Now here how many lines you have written? Same 4 lines. Plus for creating that function 1 line. 5. And for using that function 1. 6. 5 lines is better. 6 lines is better. 5 lines only is better. Then what is the use of creating the function? Now here the question comes. What is the question is? For example, I want for the another list. Separately one more list is there. One more list. That list is 2 comma 5 comma 10 comma 3. This is one more list, guys. For this one also I want to calculate the sum. Same way. What happens? Simple, sir. Copy and paste here. But previous one also required. This one also required. Every list total I required. Now for this one again we are going to copy this one. From here to here again we are going to copy. Again we are going to paste. Now you are going to get the total. Assume third time I'm having one more list. This time the list is different. And in this list you are having the values like this 30 and 8 something you are having. Again I want the sum. Now again you are going to copy. Sir, my question is why you are copying the codes like that? Directly simply replace the list. No, why you are writing again. This list only you keep here. In this same cell you execute. If I execute, previous 14 will be deleted, right? Previous sum, I want 3 examples. Total 3 answers I required. For this list, what is the answer? For this list, what is the answer? For this list, what is the answer? 3 list, 3 answers I required. Separately. Then what I have to do? Obviously, I have to write the program in this way. Now, here for the first time, how many lines of code I have used? 5 lines. For second time, 5 lines. Third time, 5 lines. Now, total number of lines are 15. Now, instead of using the 15 lines, I'm going to create the function only for one time. One time the function was created with 5 lines. Now, I'm going to use the same function for the first list. What is the first list? List number 1 is this one. This is the list 1. So for this first list, this is the output. For the second list, list number 2. What is the second list means? This is the second list. Same function. Creating will be done one time. Use of the function will be used for the multiple times. Second, I'm using for the third time. Now this is the third list, my third list, which is values are, these are the values. So again, I'm using the sum underscore list, and inside that I'm going to use the input. So now total, how many lines of code I have written? 5 lines for creating, 3 lines for calling. Now how many lines? 8 lines. Earlier how many lines? 15. So when we are using only for one time, I'm not using for multiple times, only for one time program is 5 lines. Okay, program is 5 lines. For one time, function is 6 lines, because 5 lines for creating, 1 line for using. Total 6 lines. Program was this. But when I have repeated that one, so automatically the moment I add every time, 5 lines will be added every time. Each time I repeat, 5 lines will be added. But each time I repeat, one line only will be added. Only calling now. Calling will be done only in the single line. So automatically when you are repeating the code, the advantage will be with the functions. So that is the clearly I have written here. The function, it avoids the repetition and makes code reusable. Means one time once you create, means infinite number of times you can use that. Point is clear? Sir, for example, I'm not going to repeat, sir. I'm not going to repeat. If repeated, advantage you told. I will not repeat, sir. Then don't write the function. Who asked you to write the function? Waste of time. Waste of time. Why to unnecessarily convert that program to function, and again why to call? Okay. When you are using for the multiple times same program, sir, earlier you told that same program multiple times means it is called as loop. I didn't tell program. Earlier I told you the lines of code. Whenever you want to repeat the line of code, it is called as loop. Whenever you want to repeat not line of code, entire program only has to be repeated. Program only has to be repeated as it is, like that means then it is called as function. Point is clear? So when you have to create the functions means when you want to repeat the programs. Everyone understood? So that is the reusability. Okay. So here the function, what are the function you are going to have now? Now, what are the function you have executed in the one Jupyter notebook? That function is applicable only for that particular Jupyter notebook. It is not used in the another Jupyter notebook. What are the function you have created? You created. It is not inbuilt function. Inbuilt function means Python integrated. Python integrated means any Jupyter notebook, anything is fine. What are the function you have created? Automatically it will store in the temporary RAM. That RAM, what are the memory it is going to allocate for that particular Jupyter notebook? The moment you stop the kernel, I mean close that one, automatically the function will be deleted in the backend. The object will be deleted. Again, you have to re-execute. Point is clear? Now, so here what are the functions we are having? Different types of functions and reusability. Everyone is clear now? What are the questions you are having? Understood? Yes or no? So what is the advantage of this one, miss? This is the advantage. Now what is the syntax? Syntax means in what way we have to create the function. Syntax is, first you have to write def, mandatory. That is a keyword. Def means defining. For creating the function or defining the function, def is compulsory. That is the syntax, Python syntax. Okay, rule, Python rule. After that, you have to write the some function name. What are the name you are interested, you can write. Sir, compulsory underscore? No, anything. What are you are interested? F name, simple. Underscore is not compulsory. What are the rules are applicable for the variable name? Same rules. Bracket. Inside the bracket, you have to provide the arguments. What are the single argument or multiple arguments? Choice is yours. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. What are this? You have to provide the arguments. What is meant by arguments? Means input. Okay. Any rule is available for the function name is what are the rules are applicable for the variable name? Same rules are applicable. Can you use a space b is equal to 40? A space b can be used as the variable name? No. Same way it cannot be used in the function name. A underscore b can be used in the variable name? Yes, it is also used in the function name. Whichever is applicable for the variable name, same thing is applicable. Next, colon, compulsory, again, as per the syntax. Internally, you are going to write the program. What are the entire program is there? Write the program. That's it. Completed. Function is completed. And this function, finally, it has to give something output now. That output only we call it as a return. What it has to give. What it has to give as the output. Sir, here in the earlier example, here you have not written the print no, sir. What is the difference between the print versus return? I will tell you. I will show you with an example. Just whichever you want to give as the output, either it has to be written or it has to be printed. Out of these two, one. What is that difference, miss? I will explain with a small example. Okay. So whichever it has to return from that function, we are going to give the return, and what it has to return, some variable. What are value or variable or whatever it is. What you want to return. Is the point is clear? Now, see here, I'm creating one function, def. The function name is add underscore p. That is the function name. Sir, underscore p is you're not interested, means write only p. Choice is yours. Example purpose I'm taking, guys. Okay. Now, here add underscore p is the function name, and here I'm going to give the two inputs, a and b. I also don't know what inputs I will use in the future. When I use this function, what I will use, I also don't know. If two inputs are given, what it has to do is internally, it has to calculate a plus b, and it has to print the c value. Print. This is the function. I have created the function. Point is clear? Everyone understood? Now, here I'm using this function now. What are the function I have created? Now I'm using that one. add underscore p. Now, to use this function, what are the function I have created? To use this function, first I'm going to click here. It is saying that there is no docstring, but it is clearly showing that two arguments it is going to take. A and B, two arguments. That is clear. But what is a docstring, miss? No docstring, because I didn't tell what is the advantage of this one. But I want to see that docstring also, miss. Then you have to write the multi-line comment inside the function. Inside the function, whatever you write the multi-line comment, na, that we call it as docstring. A multi-line comment inside the function is called as docstring. So here I'm going to write the docstring. What is the docstring, miss? It is going to do the, it returns or it prints the sum of two values which are a comma b. Sum of two values a and b. What are the two values are there? A and b. Point is clear? It prints the sum of two values a and b. That is the function. And I'm going to re-execute. Because after writing the docstring, you have to re-execute. If you don't re-execute, just you are writing means which was executed, that one only will be stored in the memory. Which is not executed, it will not be stored in the memory. So I'm re-executing. Now here water I have re-executed, right? Yes. Now here I'm going to give the, it prints the sum of two values, A and B. Clear, everyone? Can you see here water I have written, that one only it is printing here. Okay, doc string. So now here I'm going to provide the 2 comma 5. 2 comma 5. And what is the output? 7. So it is going to do the sum of 2 and 5, 7. Nice. Up to here, okay. Now the point is second example number 2. Okay, this is, we are going to call the function and okay, nice. Now I'm going to create one more function. In this function also, I'm going to write like this, add underscore r, a comma b. Instead of printing, it is going to return the sum of two values a and b. Means instead of printing the value, it is going to return c. Okay, instead of printing, it is going to return. This function, what is the difference? Now let us see. Add underscore r, and I'm going to give the same 2 comma 5. Here also 2 comma 5 only. And it is going to give the 7 only. So here also 7 only, here also 7 only. Then what is the difference between the print and return means? Here you can see the difference now. I'm trying to store this one in a new variable. Some variable name called as z is equal to add underscore p 2 comma 5. Means first right side will be executed 7. 7 will be stored in the z. We'll assume like that and we'll print the z. What is the z value? But it is going to throw the z value as none. Okay. Whereas here I'm going to write in the same way, z is equal to add underscore r of 2 comma 5. And I'm going to print the z. Print the z. Now see, it is going to print the z value as 7. Here it is printing the z value as none. Inside the z, none is there. Here 7 is there. Sir, what is the difference, sir? See, here it is just printing the value. So whichever the value was printed, it cannot be stored. For example, okay, some of the students will ask me this important question, that is, what is the difference between the return versus print? Now, so here, whatever we are having, okay, now z value and this value, taking this as the example, let's take an example like this. There is one ink. Everyone knows ink now? Ink. If I give some ink to you, some ink I have given to you, you are going to store that one in a somewhere you are going to store. If I provide the ink, instead of providing the ink, I have given the newspaper or some paper which was written with the alphabet something, and I ask it to take the ink and store. Is that possible? Storing the paper, I'm not asking. Take the ink and store. Where is the ink means? On the paper. On the paper, how to take the ink and how to store? Point is clear? In the notes, what are the notes you are writing now? In the notes you are writing with the pen. On the paper you have written so many letters. Take that ink and again store that one. So which is already printed here, how it can be stored here? Printed one cannot be stored. So that is the reason it is saying that z value consists of none. Sir, but it is showing the 7. No, sir. 7 is related to printing of this function. This is output. But in the z, what is there means? None is there. As I've told you now, in the Python, in the single line, first right side part will be executed. What is the right side part means? This one. In that printing. So it is printed. After printing, you are asking me to store, which is not possible. So it is saying that none. So whichever the value are returning, that only can be stored in the variable. Okay. Sir, for example, whatever the output is there, na, I don't want to store, sir. I don't want to store. Then if you don't want to store means no, then there is no difference for you between the print versus return. Both answers will be the same. That answer, this answer will be the same. There will be no difference. So when you want to store the output, what are the output of the function was given? That output, if you want to store, means that function has to return. It should not print. Whatever I am giving, you have to store that one, means I have to give directly that one only, not indirectly. I have, if I am asking for you to store the ink, means I have to give the ink. I can't keep that ink on the paper and take that ink, miss. That is not possible. That is last line. By default, last line will be printed. Generally, it will not be printed here. If, for example, you are writing here something z is equal to 90 and x is equal to 20. Now, this is not going to print now. Only last line of the course will be printed, as I've told you for multiple times. Okay, when you are writing the multiple lines of code, this will not print. It will give the output only, but that output has to be printed. Directly, you can apply the print also here. Print of this one. Then, irrespective, it will print. Now, value is there. It is literally equal to 7. It is a normal 7, a general 7. Now, in the above case, if you write like this, print of print, inside the print, again print. Already it has printed. Printed one, again print. You are asking. So, it is going to throw this. So, literally you are giving the print of print. This is directly you are asking the print the value. Difference is clear, guys, everyone? Understood? So, what is the difference between the written versus this? That is the first one. Next, second one. So here, sir, this double quotes inside the function as a comment. What does it do? That is only called as comment. Doc string. So, sir, I know na function for what purpose I have created. I know na doc strings are not for you. Doc strings are for others. For example, Tata Motors, the person who created the Tata Motor, car, he doesn't know what purpose, which one. Why again user guide they will write? User guide is not for them. Your user guide is for the end user. Who is going to purchase that one? Who is going to use that one? Who doesn't know for what purpose which one was created? Point is clear? So just we are going to write the doc strings. For every function, whatever we have created, we are going to write the doc strings so that in the future, in our place, some other person comes and sit in our position and they are going to continue the project. Means they will understand for what purpose these functions are created. That is the reason of doc strings. Comments, doc strings, all these are for future reference. For example, if you write the comment, what is the advantage of comment? Means in the future, you will remember, okay, this code was written for this purpose. For example, if I open my for loops, in that multiple codes will be there. Which code for what purpose? Means I have to read the entire code from top to bottom. Instead of that, if I read the comment, write a program for this one, means, oh, this program is for this purpose. Comments and doc strings are used for the future reference purpose. Everyone is clear, right? Done. Next, coming to the next one. What is the major advantage of code reusability? Yes, you can use the same code again and again, multiple times. One time if you create the function, you can use for the infinite number of times by calling. Okay, creating only will take the more lines, but calling the function is just one line. Write the function name. How to call means function name. Inside the bracket, you have to give the input. That's it. It will give the output. Execute the code and it will give the output. Is the points are clear, guys? Everyone understood? Now, what is the difference between the print and written also is clear now? Next, here, write a program for the multiplication table. Yesterday we have discussed. Yeah, yesterday is last class. In one of the class we have discussed. Last two classes we have discussed. Write a program. Doc string should be multi-line comment. Exactly. Vishnu. A multi-line comment inside the function is called as doc string. So write a program for the multiplication table, means you are going to get like this. This is the multiplication table and you are going to get the output like this, which is the, for example, the user is going to give the 5. So you are going to get the 5 table. six table, seven table, like that. So this is a program. Now write a function for multiplication table. Instead of a program, write a function. Function means what we are going to do. So simply what are the program? Def m underscore t. That is the function name I have given. M underscore t is multiplication table. M is multiplication, t is table. From my perspective, n. So it is going to print the multiplication table for the given number n. What are the number you have given? For that it is going to create. Now, so here mt of 5. See, same output. What is the difference between this one versus this one, miss? This we call it as program. This we call it as function. In every function, we are going to use some programs only. If you know how to create the program by using the if and else, and for loops, while loops, if you know the programs, every program on the top, if you write one line, def, if you write like this, it is only called as function. Everyone is clear? So converting every program, what are the programs you have created till now? What are the programs you have practiced till now? Every program convert to as a function. Write a program for the question, write a function for the question. Function means what? Just adding on the top def. And once you have created the function, you can call the function for multiple times. And here you are going to provide the input argument. One input argument or two input arguments or three input arguments are that you have to decide based on your requirement. Is the points are clear? Now, write a program. One more. Let's see one more example. Last example. Write a program. Write a program to print excellent. Write a program to print excellent if marks are greater than or equal to 90. If they are greater than 90. If greater than 8, you have to give the good. If marks, what are the marks are there? If the marks are greater than or equal to 80. At the same time, you have to give the okay. If marks are greater than or equal to 70. And otherwise, fail. This is the question. Write a program. Okay, write a program. First, you have to ask the user, give your marks. If the marks are more than 90, you have to give the excellent. More than 80, good. More than 70, okay. Less than 70, literally fail. 70 80 to 80 means okay. More than 80 means good. More than 90 means excellent. This is the requirement. Now here I'm going to write a program for that. What is the program is? Marks. Okay. Enter your marks. If marks are greater than or equal to 90, print excellent. Greater than 80. Sir, for example, this is only is there. Now here you have entered the 96. 96 means marks are greater than 96 means obviously 96 is greater than 90. Excellent you are going to get. Sir, even 96 is greater than 80 also no. Nah, sir. Good also no means no. Because if is working means elif will not work. Elif means above condition fail only. It has to check this condition means above condition has to fail. So above condition is not fail now. So it will not check. So I'm going to get the output as excellent. This is the program. I have written the program. For otherwise fail. So here I'm going to write the fail. The person is fail. Okay. Now enter your marks. The marks is 84 and it is saying the good. Now the same question, instead of writing a program, write a function. That is the question. What you are going to do? From here to here, as it is, copy and paste. We cannot do anything. Programs and functions, inbuilt code inside the code is same. No difference in that. Okay. Just we are going to add the some function name along with the what is the input you are going to get. And we are going to create a function like this. A function is created like this. Once the function was created, we are going to call the function. How we are going to call the function means this is calling the function. Call the function. What are the function you have created? We are going to call the function evaluation of 84. 84 means it is going to give the good. same as above. Sir, what is the difference? Program function. That is the difference. Everyone is clear? Understood till now? This is the last example. Now, so here arguments are mandatory. In this, all the examples what I have discussed, user defined functions till now, arguments are mandatory. Now let us see the different types of arguments. What are the various arguments are there? Let us try. Okay. Let's create some arguments. These are all the examples, different examples which I have used in the different batches. Now, coming to the next one, a function. How to create? We are having the different types of functions. A function with no arguments means no argument also will be there. A function can be created with zero argument. Okay, not even one argument will be there. At the same time, a function can be created with the compulsory, default, and arbitrary. Three options are there. Okay, now let's start with the function with zero arguments. Zero arguments means nothing, not even one argument is there for that. A function can be created with the zero argument also. Possible means possible. A function creating with the zero argument is also possible. Okay, so now I'm going to create a function with zero arguments. Now here I'm creating a function like this, add. That is the function name I have given. Inside that function, any argument is there here? No argument. I'm not even giving any argument. So here I'm writing the code like this. Something, a function was created. While calling the same function also, we should not give internally anything. If a function was created with zero arguments, we have to call with zero arguments. If the function was created with one argument means we have to call with one arguments. How many compulsory arguments are there? That many compulsory we have to use. So here how many arguments are there? Zero. Not even one compulsory argument also is there. Default is there or anything is there. Nothing is there. So zero. While calling this function also, how we have to call? With zero argument. Sir, now for example, you are calling this function. Now what happens? This code only will be executed. What is this code? Inside this, what is there? N is equal to enter the number. See, it is asking enter the number. I'm going to enter the number as 10. Now what happened? A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. C is equal to A plus N. What is A value? A is 10. Now N value is what I am entering. That is 10. 10 plus 10. What is the total? 20. It is going to give the 20 as the input. So here just I'm entering and output is 20. So literally it is executing this code. Internal code is getting executed. Is the point is clear? Everyone? Sir, internally it is asking the number. No, sir. Okay, let us remove this one also. If you are feeling that internally it is asking something, miss, let us remove. Now, this function was, okay, this is the function. Now I'm calling this function. Now when I call this function, what happens? Internal code will be executed. What is the internal code? A comma B, that is 10 comma 20, and C is equal to A plus B, and return the C value. Now what is the output I'm going to get when I execute this code? These three lines will be executed. What is these three lines output? A comma B is equal to 10 comma 20. That is A is 10, B is 20. C is equal to 10 plus 20, 30. Return C. Return C means return 30. And what is the output it is going to give is 30 only. Literally it is going to execute the code inside the function. What are the code is there inside the function? It is going to execute. Everyone is clear till now? Understood or not? Yes or no? Right? So a function was created with zero arguments means the same function has to be called with the zero arguments. It cannot be called with the different arguments. For example, if you give here, sir, if I write here add what are the function, it will throw the error that See, this function takes a 0 arguments, but 1 was given. Means you are providing 1 as the input. Okay. So now just we are going to remove this and we are going to execute. Clear, guys? Understood? Everyone? Done. So please make a note that a function can be created with 0 arguments. At the same time, if a function was created with 0 arguments, means it has to be called with the 0 arguments. Next, a function with arguments. Next one is function with arguments. Yeah. Please make a note of this one. What are the different types of arguments are there? Means compulsory. Within the compulsory, again, positional keyword. Default, arbitrary. Everyone, please write. I will be back in 2 minutes. Some kind of I'm getting vomiting sensation. Just 2 minutes, please. Yeah, done. So now I'm going to create a function with compulsory argument. What is meant by compulsory argument means here I'm going to provide one argument or two arguments or something. You can create a compulsory argument with one or two or three or 10, even anything as per your choice. Now here I'm creating a function with one compulsory argument. What is that argument is n. The argument name is n. Add n. Okay. This is the input. A comma b is equal to 10 comma 20. C is equal to a plus n. Return C. This is the function. Now when I call this function with 5, now what is 5 means n value will be equal to 5. N is 5. A comma b means a is 10, b is 20. Now C is equal to a plus 5. What is a? A is 10. N value is what? 5. So a plus 5, that is 10 plus 5, 15. And it is going to return the 15. And the output I am going to get is 15. So a function with one argument. This function was created with one argument. Now similarly, I'm going to create with the two arguments. When you are having the one argument, one compulsory argument, then in that case will not have the positional or keyword. These words are not there. These things will not come. When you are having the multiple arguments, multiple compulsory arguments when you are having, see here, def add underscore to a comma b. C is equal to a minus b, return C. This is the function which I have created. Now this function, what I have created, I'm using this function like this. add underscore 2. Add underscore 2 in the bracket, within the bracket, 2 comma 3. What is 2 comma 3 means? It is going to give the output of 2 comma 3 is nothing but a value will be considered as 2, b value will be considered as 3, C is equal to a minus b, that is 2 minus 3 minus 1, and it is going to give the minus 1. This output is minus 1. Why? Because a is considered as 2. Who told a is 2? Automatically it is going to take in the sequential order. By default it will take in the sequential order. We call it as positional arguments. Point is clear? While defining, in the defining, it is compulsory only. While calling only, it is called as positional. Positional means first argument will, first one will be cited with the first value, second one will be cited with the second value. That is a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3. Point is clear? Everyone understood or not? Yes or no? Now, a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, and it is going to return the minus 1. But instead of that, I'm writing a is equal to 3 here. Clearly, I have written a is equal to 3, b is equal to 2. Now, which one is a, which one is b, miss? Automatically, or I'm writing here, b is equal to 3, a is equal to 2. Now, which one is a, which one is b? Now, whether it is going to take as per the order. Now, tell me, in this case, def add, what are the add underscore 2? That is the function name, a comma b. C is equal to a minus b, return the C value. Now, I'm writing clearly add underscore 2. Okay. If I write here 2 comma 3 means automatically a will be 2, b will be 3. But I'm not using like that. I'm writing like this. B is equal to 2, a is equal to 3. Now, it is going to consider 2 as a or 3 as b, or in this way it is going to consider, means what are the way I have given, it is going to take in that way. That is a is equal to 3, b is equal to 2. In the case 1, what it has taken? A as 2, b as 3. In the case 2, what it is taking? A as 3, b is equal to 2. And in the case 1, what is the output of this one? Means 2 minus 3 minus 1. In the second case, 3 minus 2 plus 1. Point is clear? Sir, now the question is, what is the difference between the positional and keyword? Means while creating the function, observe this one. While defining the function, there is no difference. Compulsory argument only. While creating the function, there is no difference. But while calling that function, what are the function you have created? While calling that one, you are having the two options. One is called as positional, one is called as keyword. You can use out of these two any one of them. For example, I'm writing here B is equal to 2, A is equal to 3. Now 3 minus 2, 1. Now irrespective, whatever the order, it is irrespective. Whatever I have written here, in that only you have to take. Now let's take one more example. Add underscore 3, A comma B comma C. D is equal to A plus B plus C, or A minus B, B minus C. Return the D value. Okay, return D value. This is the function creation. I'm using the same function. These three are called as what? Compulsory arguments, because they are not having the equal to symbol or star mark or anything. They are called as compulsory. Now, in this three, I'm using the add underscore 3. A here 2, 3, 4. I have given the 2, 3, 4. Automatically A will be considered as 2, B will be considered as 3, C will be considered as 4. Just whatever the order I have written, it is going to take in the same order, which we call it as positional arguments. So A comma B comma C is equal to 2 comma 3 comma 4. This is the code which is going to apply in the backend. Point is clear. It takes automatically like that. But if I don't write like this, while calling the function, I'm calling like this. A is starting, I will write with the C. First, I will start with the C. C is equal to 5. B is equal to 1. A is equal to 6. Now, which one will be considered as A? A value is what? 5 or A value 6 are? Which one will be considered as A value? Miss, clearly you have written A is equal to 6 now. So this one only will be considered. So now what is the A value? 6. What is the B value? 1. What is the C value? 5. Now order is not important. A can be in the first place, A can be in the second place, A can be in the third place. The order only not important for us. But in this case, order is important. If order is important means positional arguments, order is not important means keyword arguments. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? Understood or not? So while designing, there is no difference in the keyword and positional. Only while calling the function only that difference will come. While creating the function, now tell me A and B, they are called as positional arguments or keyword arguments means they are not called as positional or keyword. They are called as compulsory. What they are called as? Compulsory. While calling only, you can call them as a positional, you can call them as a keyword. Choice is yours. Clear? Everyone? Yes or no? Done. Understood till now? Yeah, guys. So that is for today's class. We'll continue in the tomorrow's class. Sorry, suddenly I'm not feeling well. Some kind of vomiting sensation I'm getting continuously. Okay. So we'll continue in the tomorrow's class. Okay, please. Extremely sorry for the last 10 minutes, and tomorrow we'll continue. And if possible, tomorrow I'll take extra some few minutes. And tomorrow we'll complete the modules and core Python. Tomorrow core Python will be completed. And from next week onwards, directly we'll enter into the Python for AI. Automatically in the next Saturday, ML classes also will be started. Automatically it will start. Done? Done, guys. Thank you. Thank you all. Yeah, notes is uploaded. You can cross check. Notes is uploaded. Task is also uploaded. Both are uploaded. Yeah. Could you check once?